This is just the test video for the Inspect for Magical Properties video. Got some hair on there. Inspect for Magical Properties, stripper, duplicates, powders, gaffs, box. So this is part 1 of 2. We will be doing the red decks first. So I'm gonna try not to make a super long video. Just gonna have some fun, free ball it a little bit, and I'm shooting straight into iMovie, so this is kind of interesting to see how just a different way of making videos for me. So I've been thinking about, and by the way, this is also probably going to be actually the first ASMR video that I actually get put out, just mostly due to the fact that this shooting and editing process is much easier than compared to setting up my Blue Yeti microphone and having to do syncing and cutting and all of that versus just a little bit less editing on here, having the video and audio already synced and all shot straight into the app or software, or app in this case, iMovie, at once. So yeah, but so I was saying, I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've got kind of the collection over here. I've been wanting to do this video for a little while, so let me explain a little bit what I mean by the Inspect for Magical Properties. And well, maybe I shouldn't explain too much, but I'll just say I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and similar quirky or geeky and like collector style or magic type videos soon. Just things in general in the ASMR realm. So now what do I mean by inspect for magical properties? Inspect for magical, properties. Stripper, duplicates, powders, gaffs, box. So I'll bring up the first deck. So I have my blue collection of cards is over off camera over there on my bookshelf. The blue rider back bicycle. These are the bicycle rider back playing cards. Most of y'all have probably seen these before. This is kind of the old fashion box look. With just the playing card back design on the back of the box. And just that nice red color. In comparison to, I have over here one of the newer bicycle boxes, which they have a few differences. So So you can see the color of the spade is a little different, the text on it is a little different. A lot of little differences, but the most significant difference to me back in the day and still now to this day has always been the back of these boxes, which, as you can see, the new bicycle rider back boxes always have a little bit more descriptive and advertising type stuff on the back. So I'm gonna put this one back over here on the piles for now. We'll start with this one here. So, just a real quick recap. So, I like to do a lot of magic tricks and card shuffling, also known as cardistry. That's like the fancy card shuffling and flourishing. So that's the reason why I have a lot of, if not most of these card decks, which, as I'll come to make some videos soon on, hopefully, I'm sure, these bicycles and the blue ones for the part 2 of this video thing, these are not the only decks of cards that I have is just bicycle rider backs. I have other colors of bicycle rider and definitely not as many as the classic blue and red bicycle rider backs, but I have a few other colored ones. I have ones that are not rider backs by bicycle. I have ones that aren't even by bicycle. But that's all for another video. So anyways, they're not really for card games for me. I have plenty of them that are perfectly normal, which is what we're going to be trying to look for today, is anything out of the ordinary, anything not normal with these cards. Hence, inspect for magical properties, which is probably going to be the title of this video by how many times I've said it by now. So, when it says stripper, that could be, which, by the way, if you're against magic spoilers, or magic trick spoilers, then please leave this video. This is for magicians and magic enthusiasts only, so that you'll probably know what a lot of this stuff is already. So, stripper, that would mean if I feel like any of the cards feel like they have a different edge, that could help me pull them out by holding the sides of the deck. Duplicates, that just means going through each of the decks and putting them in order by suit to make sure that there are no duplicates, or if there are duplicates, and at least to make sure that each of the cards in the deck are there, all 52, and if they're not, then that's a faulty deck. You can't use that to play with, and you shouldn't even really want to use that to do tricks with, because if you're on the fly doing magic and stuff and you want to do well, I can't really think of a good example, honestly, but you want to be able to have a free choice a lot of times. You're not always trying to force a card. There are plenty of times in Magic when you really do offer up a free choice, and so you just want to be able to have that. So duplicates, powders, this is a big one. It's okay if they don't have any powders, that would mean normal. It's okay if they have fanning powder also, that just means it helps them feel a little better. But if I feel anything strange about the cards, like a little bit more sandpapery, then that could be signs that we have cards out of order from an invisible deck trick. If you don't have an invisible deck, go on Penguin Magic, go online, go on pretty much any online store, or go to your local magic shop if you have one, even better, since they are kind of dying and becoming further and fewer and further between. Get an invisible deck, but try not to be like me and get in trouble and get your shit raided by the police or whoever else, because then you might end up with stuff strewn all over your room. And in my case, it seems like we have some cards from invisible decks that are just strewn around into some of these piles of the rubber banded cards, which is not good. We want to collect as many of those back up as we can, separate them out from the normal duplicate cards that we're going to use for other stuff, and see if we have a full invisible deck to put back together out of them. Because if we can and we can use them, then that's great. But otherwise, those cards are a little bit weird. They're bad to just use for a normal deck. They're gonna feel a little bit weird. They're gonna put some of that powder onto the other cards. It's just bad news. So we're gonna see if that's the case and try to rectify that if we can. If we can't, then we might just have to, that might be a situation where we just have to get rid of cards, which would really suck. That's like the worst case scenario, is wasting cards. As a magician, you want to try and be creative and use your spare card scraps for as much stuff as you can. There might have been something else I wanted to say about that, because invisible decks are awesome, but yeah, we're gonna try and look through those. I love the rubber banded stacks though. We love having those to be able to give people signed cards for them to keep, to be able to fold up cards, to be able to rip up, burn, cut up and tear, and gimmick and gaff cards to our own liking. And shout out to Evan Cloyd, Jarek120, Disturb Reality from back in the day for inspiring this video a little bit. I feel like this is really a special moment, full circle moment for me to be kind of sharing this moment with y'all for the internet, because I love my cards and my magic stuff. Last but not least, before this turns into a freaking hour-long video, because it already might get a little bit long, gaffs, any gaff cards that we might just find lying around in there, and box. So anything like this kind of situation where we have some tricks incorporated into the box, I'm just gonna look out for that and kind of notate if I notice anything like that. So, but with all of that being said, I'm gonna try and just go through the rest of the video without rambling too much, and just show the cards, show the stuff, feel this is actually a task that I needed to do. This note here, this wasn't just made just for this video idea. This was written to myself because I actually wanted to make sure and see if I had a full invisible deck just lying around that fell out of a box, because yeah, fuck that, so, but yeah, I might just be mostly card sounds and actually inspecting and doing the task for the majority of the rest of the video. So let's start with this first one here. You can see it's got a little bit of some kind of ingraining, some scratches on the box. Let's take a look open in there, and okay, off the bat I can tell that this one here is an invisible deck. So we're just gonna leave that one aside for now. I'm gonna put the the finished ones up here. This one is a perfectly good looking invisible deck. We'll just make sure that there's nothing missing from it. If we collect any of them from over in the pile, then we'll see which one, see if it belongs to any of the ones that we've already passed through. Now this next one here, this one I know has normal cards in it, but it's got this trick. So that's a 9 of Hearts reveal. My low battery just showed up on my phone, just making sure it's still recording. So it's got a 9 of Hearts reveal on there. So we're gonna have a duplicate 9 of Hearts in here. Nothing else in the box, it looks like. I've had a gaff, a gimmicked box by Michael Chatelain. I think the M case isn't being sold anymore, I think, but I tried to see where it was and I couldn't find it. Excuse me. I tried to find where I had, what I had done with it, and there's a couple of gimmicks that I'm missing, like my Money Shot gimmick, also by Michael Chatelain. I'm missing my Shark reload pack gimmicks by Chris Ballinger. I just bought the DVD without gimmicks secondhand from eBay recently. But initially, back years ago, I had just bought the refill pack because I knew how to do the trick without the DVD. Anyways, this is a very smooth handling pack right here, as you can see. Dear heavens, I don't even want to touch this pack any much more, because look at that. I mean, that just feels like butter. That is just a buttery smooth spread on this pack of cards. I'm not sure. A lot of the bicycles decks that I have, I switched them around from box to box if I liked a different box better at times. Just weird. I'm not exactly sure what I was thinking when I was doing all of that, but that just, all that I'm saying by that is that some of these decks might not be in their original box, so they might be handling smoother than what the box shows. Like if they're in one of these, and if they handle really incredibly smooth, that might mean that they either have fanning powder on them or they're from a different box, because they don't come straight out of the box being that good nowadays anymore. So let's take try to keep myself out of the frame here. I think we're just gonna go ahead and put this one aside as well. There's one gimmick. It's from a Daniel Garcia. It's in his Penguin Live lecture, which is probably the best Penguin Live lecture. I haven't watched any of the other ones, so I have no right to say that, but if I were to take a guess in how good my taste is, let me not be so pretentious, but Daniel Garcia. Moral of the story, Daniel Garcia is a great, it's a really good lecture and good stuff in there. So yeah, 9 of Hearts is, like I said, there's a 9 of Hearts right there. So we have one actually in here, and I'm too lazy to check the rest of this one out for anything else. I'm pretty sure it's a good working deck. This is one that I'll keep probably on the side for a while to come back to when I actually deserve it, how nice of a deck it is. And I'll instead use some of these crappier, newer ones first. So let's put this over there with the done ones. I'll use the crappier ones first, because those ones deserve to get used up. And a nice deck like that one, you're gonna want pull that out. I feel like for if you ever get the Magic Castle or some other, you know, close-up or like actual parlor magic where you're using a mat or like doing a video, maybe if you're doing like a DVD of your own. People aren't going to be doing magic DVDs probably as much anymore, but if you want a really good deck for something like that, you'll want something as smooth as that one. That one's just like unnaturally good deck. I have a lot of nice I have a lot of nice decks, but that one is really, really just buttery feeling in the hands. As you can see, it makes me not even want to use it much. But trust, they have been used. I just don't want to use it much right now. Okay. Last one in this first pile of 3. Or this first pile. Last one in the first pile is also got some scratchies on the box there. As you can see. The invisible decks come in these older ones, I think. Whenever you can, if you can get these older type of bicycles, the gold standard ones, or the elites they call them now on Penguin, I think, or even just the old black ones that come like that. Anytime you can, you're gonna want to get those. This one here, this deck is, would you look at that? That's not supposed to be in there. Fuck. Yeah, I don't have a box for this one, I think, anymore, so that's why I've kept these in there. But that totally threw me off guard, and I've got to count this later. But these are the Lumiere, or excuse me, the Melier, the Meliers. This is the Meliers deck. And you can see that it's got a little bit more of an orange tint there on those. What's the Ace of Spades in this one look like? I can't remember. It better be in here at least, hopefully. Aha. By Pure Imagination Projects. So yeah, that's not supposed to be in there, but we're just going to set that aside for now. I'm gonna leave that box open so that I remember to take a look at it again and find something else to do with that, because that's not okay. Yeah, the Meliers. I have a few good memories with those, and I've got another one. Oh, which reminds me, note to self in this video, I need to track down and get a pack of that Cherries deck, which is also by Pure Imagination Projects, I think. It's just got like an aqua color and then some red cherries on there. Beautiful looking deck, and just totally in that classic, like old school looking vibe of the type of decks that I want to add to my collection and to use for cardistry videos if I ever fucking start making those again. Please bring me the strength. I'm gonna pause and charge my phone for a couple minutes, and then we'll get into piles number 2 and 3, try and speed through those, and then we just have to look through the actual most concerning bit, which is those rubber banded ones, the rubber bandits. So, but then we'll be wrapped up with this video for the night, so just catch y'all in just a couple more minutes. Just another quick note to self, you guys, also, or note about this particular video, as well as that this assortment right here, this might not, this doesn't include all of the bicycle cards that I have. Like I already mentioned, there's some that are, I have my blue ones over there, and I have some ones that are otherly colored and stuff like that. But also I just mean, like, this is the ones that are, these are all meant to look on the outside and from the boxes like normal cards. The ones that I can already tell are gaffed, like a completely one-way force or a unshuffleable, or like any clearly obviously gaffed deck is not included in this video because it's obvious. Like I said, this is a chore that I'm actually having to do, and I'm actually inspecting them for their magical properties. Invisible decks and stuff like that, or tricks that you're going out and actually working. The box is supposed to look completely normal. The cards and everything are supposed to look completely normal. So when you leave them alone for a long time, if you don't pull them out and you're not labeling them, obviously you don't want it to have a big Sharpie mark on the front of your box that says, "This is the magic cards, use this one," or whatever. So yeah, that is that's why they're separate out, and that's why I'm looking through them to make sure that I know what's what. Looks like my flashlight turned on this time. Not sure if I necessarily need that. Let's see if it turns itself off. Okay, cool. Yes, it did. So, as I was saying, let's continue on with these before we lose all the nightlight. So, first up in this next pile here, now this one has a little strip of tape. I don't know if you can see that there. It's a little strip of tape there at the top. Now you can see it there, I think. So I'm not exactly sure if that was what that was necessary on there for. But yeah, it's got a little strip of tape there at the top. This was and at the bottom. Okay. So yeah, a little bit of tape at the bottom there too. And let's bring this exposure down, maybe even a little bit. Let's see how that looks. Okay. So we got a little focus. No focus. Yeah, so we don't get the focus when we do that though. All right, so yeah. Let me try not to ramble too much and just get some card sounds maybe. This one has your classic black seal. So the first three that we had over here, looks like we got 1 gold, 2 gold, 3 gold. So I didn't mean to do that. I didn't do that on purpose, I don't think, but we got our three of our, I'm not even sure, maybe that's all of the ones that I have, but we got the gold sealed ones. Those are I think they were called the gold edition, I don't know, or something. Those ones were from Penguin, I think, and then there was the Masters edition from Illusionist. Those were really good. They go through all of these, the Bicycle Rider bag goes through all of these different elite premium versions that you can't get at the supermarket, that they do through different companies, I guess, whoever wants to do them. So yeah, we've got that's cool how it holds focus there. Wow, it holds the focus right there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start using iMovie more often. Alright, getting too distracted here. So, yeah, basically, as I was saying the old-fashioned boxes. This is the black seal that comes on like the new ones. Black seal is very common, and yes. So this looks to be an invisible deck, as you can see as well, and it looks pretty well equipped, and it feels like a full. So we're not gonna worry too much, and we're gonna pass it on. And also the box seems, other than the tape, seems pretty standard. So we're passing it, and again, if we see any extra cards later on for invisible decks, then we'll see if it belongs to that one later. So that wasn't the rest of the golds, apparently. In this pile, we have a gold as well. And a little bit of sticker debris. Little bit of scratching on the front of this one as well. If you can see, I don't think you can see very well there. There you go. Man, you gotta love iPhone. So a little bit of scratching on the box. Otherwise, seems like a pretty standard box. A lot of them are missing one of the tabs like this guy is. I wasn't checking really strictly for those ones because they're kind of not really necessary for anything except for they look and feel nice, and you can be like, ooh, flaps, you know? Like a cigarette box or something. So, I'm curious to know if the last one we did has... A lot of them curiously are missing the left flap like that, so I don't know if I've always been aggressive with the one before that had both flaps still. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that'll be a trend, maybe it won't. Finally, in terms of the deck itself, feels pretty normal. They spread really good. Honestly, really, really good. Quite probably as good as that insanely OP deck that we took a hand at before. So I'm not sure what this one is, other than probably just an accurate to the box deck, like a good red gold or a gold standard edition whatever deck. And yeah, I think that it should be good to just pass on, and we'll count for later. And this will be again one of those that I either start working a little bit later, or since this one is the second really nice one that I found, I should be able to start using this one out and about sooner. Got a little bit of, you can see the cut of it on the side, maybe. So, yeah. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and we'll pass that one on. And the final one in this pile. And then we've got one more pile of boxed ones before we do the rubber banded ones. And this one is a sharp one. This box is not softened up by the test of time as much yet. It's not been thrown around as much. It's not scratched quite as much maybe yet. A little bit of scratching there, you can see. Really nice seal. You always got to get a good seal break when you get in there and open it for the first time. Both tabs still on, and both tabs still very well intact. So this is probably just a clean, good old-fashioned new one. Oh, that's interesting. Someone put these in. That couldn't have been me. Someone else must have been holding these because. Excuse me again. You guys will have to excuse me. I'm drinking not sponsored. Some tea. So a lot of people like to put their cards back in the box this way, I think, maybe, with the back design in the same, like, the back design would actually be matching what the old-fashioned boxes look like. Cat, leave my shit alone. Yeah, a lot of people would put them in like that, but me, I don't do this. So someone else must have had these, because whenever I put my cards back, I put them in this way, with the back design at the, like, front of the box, or I don't even know what you would call that, but, so, yeah, again, normal looking box, and pretty normal looking cards. This doesn't appear to have really anything about it. Yeah, this looks like these are actually some new normal bikes. So right here we've got the don't just play the hand you're dealt, wear it. Some type of ad card. This one has Aviator B bicycle. What does that one say there? Maverick. Let me see if I can get that focus for real. Maverick and Tally-Ho. So of these brands, I've got some bicycles, obviously, and some Tally-Hos. I don't have quite that many Tally-Hos. We might do a separate video on that. And the Bs, I definitely want to do a short video, I think, on that, because I just recently splurged and bought like 6 packs, I think, of Bs at once, so that I would have 3 blue and 3 red, so I could crack one open without feeling bad, and then have one not opened, because yeah, I love playing cards. So yeah, and then this one's just your normal Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Look at that. By the time I'm posting this right now, this is 2025. So that Twitter logo doesn't even exist anymore. Like, that is like ancient by now to most people, because it had already changed since then to just the bird, the little tweeter a while ago, and then now it being X. Ooh, and it's just the X symbol logo on white on black. Whoa. Yeah, whatever. So, and then bicycle, and then you've got your color joker and your guarantee if there's a mess up joker. Love that. You gotta return the ace of spades and the defective card. So again, I think we're just gonna pass this one because it's a pretty normy new red bikes. And we're on to the last pile. I'm gonna check my battery real quick and see if I have enough battery to just move right on. Otherwise, I'll be back in a few minutes. Let's put these over there. Okay. Looks like I'm perfectly good on battery still to keep going and rolling. So we're just gonna roll right through this last pile here. We've got 4 in this last pile, and I do believe we got some special things, some specials in there. And then we gotta do the darned rubber banded piles, obviously, which is probably going to be a doozy. So let's just get right into it. Starting with another bicycle standard box. Let me sit on my knees here. And yeah, looks pretty normal box here. Let's see what we're working with. Oh, but not normal deck. We've got an invisible deck, and it appears, damn, to have some water damage, unfortunately, on the corners, but it does seem to be still in perfectly usable fashion. We're gonna pass it right on through and keep on moving, rolling. But you know what I am gonna do right now, actually, is I'm gonna give this deck into this special box, so I can tell that there's a little something more special about it versus invisible deck. Normally, I wouldn't, or I don't know if you don't, but I wouldn't normally keep them in one of these unsuspecting bicycle boxes. I would at least want to keep it in one of the old-fashioned boxes so that I could take a special attention to it. Most bystander, your audiences, your spectators, most lay people aren't gonna at all know or tell the difference between these newfangled boxes and the like old-fashioned rider back boxes, but you as a magician should eventually know, or a cardist or whatever should know. And then so these Meliers, I'm still gonna leave this box open over here so that I can do something cool with this box. Maybe I'll paint over it myself. That could be a separate video. Oh shit, that could be a separate video or something too, but I'm not feeling having that special of a deck. Every deck is special, but I'm not feeling having the Meliers in a frickin' standard bicycle rider back box. That's the new ones, no. I can't remember at all whatever happened to the box for that. Anyways, coming up to the finishing these up here, we've got another old-fashioned with a little bit missing of the black seal. Box looks pretty normal otherwise. We're just gonna take it right open and take a look. These feel really good. Oh, there's a blank right there. And you know what this is a, this one's a special deck here. This is a memory, this is a treat. Not only for years have I opened this up every once in a while and do they fan still incredibly smooth, as you can see, but you see those signatures in there, that markering. Excuse me. What those marks are is actually signatures from different people. I believe in my 8th grade, and there's some magic trick stuff in here. Dylan Markell, have a great summer. I'm not gonna go through all of these right now. I think that'll be another. Bryce Bear, Bryce is your bae. I think that'll be another video. Evan Howland, Pass the Weed. Kristen Gettier, since preschool maybe even, but at least since elementary school. It almost looks like it says ho there, but it says bae. Ella is your bae. Have a great summer. Ella Adams. Beneski, Mike Beneski. Tom Ronis, your bestie. Tommy Daughtry, say yes or I'll kill your family. Mackenzie Rowell. Cole Anderson. Brooke Kierstein. Kierstein? I think it was Kierstein. With Ace of Spades. This is just a really nice signature, this one. I can't remember who this is, though. Who has that nice of a signature? Maybe that was one of my teachers. Maybe that's someone famous. Maybe it's a magician or something. I don't know. If anybody knows what this signature is. I don't know if it's upside down or not, too. But let me know. Dev is Coolio. I think that's Devin Balak. So I think I did maybe just go through all of them just now, even though I didn't mean to do that. But really special deck. I don't think this will ever get used for anything else. I might just have some more people sign it over time. But look how fucking nice that smooth still. After I've had these for like 10 plus years. Like given I don't take them out for anything at all. But my goodness gracious me, oh my. Look at, boy, I still got it. All right. So the next box, I think this is the box that these originally came in, to be honest. Let's just take a look what's in here. And I think I'm gonna switch these back right now because I don't know how all these got like that. Yeah, and this looks like a normal enough deck that I can switch it to. So just for my memory's sake, so that I know that these are the ones. Because I've always had them in here before, I think, and I knew, oh yeah, the Masters deck, the one that you had everyone sign. Because I was kind of beating up on myself, I feel like, maybe for a second before, about like, oh, why'd you have them sign the Masters deck, you know, it's such a nice, look at that, from Illusionist, I believe. Performance coding, no, but they're just made by the same company, the same playing card company, I believe, but, yeah, no biggie, you know, nowadays. These are probably still available unopened, some of them, somewhere, so, I'll switch those back. I do believe they had been in there before. Kind of a weird video this is, but, yeah, it's really a memory lane thing for me and something that I just, don't know how it took me this long at that to do it, but I'm glad that we're finally getting to do this now. So this is the only one that we'll probably see that has a red seal. It's like the freaking red belt of jiu-jitsu. That's what this deck is. So it's right that I would put it back in here finally now. So let's pass this on to the finish pile. And cool, another classic old-fashioned with a oh, this is the box we were already looking at, right. Black seal with a little bit torn off, we already looked at that. This may be the cards that were originally in here. They may not, they're probably not. That might be a little too loud to do for quasi ASMR, springing them. They're probably not from this box, but I haven't been really trying any of these cards to see if they're stripper cards. I don't think I've ever bought a bicycle stripper deck. Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like a stripper deck. It's not doing any stripper deck stuff. I'm pretty sure these are just nice, normal bicycles. These feel like they might have been like normal bicycles, but they also feel a little bit nicer than that, so they might have been kind of like those. These I think you can still get on maybe eBay or Amazon or that type of stuff. Wow, I really feel like I'm 52 cards now. Brown boys represent in card stuff. But just having this overhead view and doing some card riffling stuff like this. What a full circle special moment. This video is gonna get way too long, so again, we're gonna move on. Just a good look in. You can see these kind of, how they spread a little bit more blocky. That's one thing that we can take from this deck, is that, as you can see, they don't they don't quite just glide. Even me trying to give it its best, that's about what we're working with, which is good for when you just want to go out and perform and stuff and you're not trying to look super dolled up. You know, Jarek 120, Evan or others have mentioned, I think, about how, you know, if you're Chris Angel or something and you're performing, you don't want to be doing all the crazy, like, ooh, you know, freaking wilding out and doing all this crazy, you know, stuff. You just want to kind of let them pick and just act like you don't know too much, you know. Under promise, over deliver, with any art, with any stuff, but with Magic. So as you can see, compared to some of the ones we've already looked at, and if I give it a thumb fan like that too, so they work, they're good, but they're a little bit more sticky together, they're a little more blocky, they're a little less, they might just need some breaking in and some love and some fanning powder and stuff. But we're gonna pass that on, and as this clip hits the 13-minute mark, passing the 13 minutes, we're gonna finish up the box of the reds out here, this pile with this strange little doodad right here. And then we move on to the rubber banded ones. So this here is a new fashioned box. You can tell just by the .com and the extra bright blue. For some reason I have paint markered over this, it looks like. I think it was paint marker, not Sharpie. Paint markered over it. Whoa. And yeah, no reason in particular. This was the regular black seal anyways, as you can see. And oh, so otherwise the box is normal, it looks like. There is a few gaff cards in here. So we've got a gaff card that I made. We've got, looks like another gaff card that I've made. Another one that I've made. And then I think the rest of the deck is normal. So I'm just gonna... Again, there may be duplicates in here. We'll check that out later. This deck does look just a card or two thin, maybe. Like it's not completely full deck. And also a little blocky, as you can see. Not the bestest deck in the world. But I'm feeling lazy. So I think we're gonna just leave this as like a weird oddball deck to dive back into later. I don't even think these gaff cards are for any specific kind of trick. I think that I just made them when I was like wanting to try experimenting, making gaffed and gimmicked stuff and cards, which I have been for years, and I would like to get back into, especially trying to recreate the shark gimmick, which I think I'll be able to do a very good one. I have the DVD and I have the stuff to do it, so I'll just have to look closely and screenshot kind of the moment where it shows the card on screen. So final notes with this deck, yeah. I don't know. These gaff cards are really ugly, and I kind of just want to throw them away, but I'm not going to do that because memories. But yeah, this kind of thing is like, this kind of shit is, there's no reason for it. It's like the kind of, this is the kind of stuff where I might just peel these apart, scrap them again, put them with, I have a bag that I'm not showing in this video of just like total scrap cards. They're already cut up, they're ad cards, they're crap like that. They're totally fucked up already, for lack of more appropriate terminology. This might become one of those decks where I just like add literally this whole amount of cards, especially if it's not a full deck. I mean, if it's close to a full deck, I didn't do, so that's one thing I didn't do with any of these, because I was just kind of trying to gauge in this video how long I ramble for as well, but I didn't check in any of these decks if they're actually full suits, full decks, since that's a lot of invisible decks we had there too. That was at least like 2 or 3 or 4, right? So, we'll check that kind of on my own, I guess, later, or if I redo for another video. But in the meantime, these will get to hang on to just live another day or few days or however long this all sits for. But then they might get scrapped up again, and if this isn't close enough to a full deck, which it looks like it is, but if I were to want to, with how many lovely expendable decks I have a few that are unopened of the old-fashioned and stuff too, so I'm just really loving where I'm at with cards. I could give some away and stuff, but yeah, we could make this additional into the rubber bands pile, or the rubber band the rubber banded ones. We could possibly add these to those later if we needed to. Those could make full decks. The rubber band piles could make full decks eventually. If I wanted to just give those, if I needed to for some reason, have a full deck to scrap or something, pick out a full deck with those, pick a box maybe for them or no box, just approach people like that, rubber band them up, whatever to do. Looks even more humble. And yeah, that's all we have left to do now is to look through those. So I'm gonna just charge up, take a break for a couple minutes, and then we'll move on to the most grueling part of this Inspect for Magical Properties card porn video, is the rubber banded piles. Check back in a few minutes. Wow, I just realized that this really did turn out to a full hour-long video already, just as is, with just getting through the 1, 2, and 3 of the red boxed sets. So, I think what we're actually gonna do is possibly just come back to the rubber band ones on a different day. And so what we'll do is an Inspect for Magic Properties video that maybe features the scraps bag as well, and that could be part 3, is doing the merging of the red and blues, and we'll do the rubber band ones, and just looking through all of those, and to see, yeah, what what goes on with those. I imagine that'll probably be the shorter one, especially if I do that last, because now I got the hang of, okay, when I do the blues video, let's try and make it a little bit shorter, less rambly, and we will look through the boxed blues. That might be shorter as well. I think I might have less of those. I'm not exactly sure just from looking from over here, but we'll do those in the next video, and then we'll move on and do all of the rubber banded probably in the video after that, unless I end up cutting this down enough that I do tack the rubber banded reds onto this video. But the point that I kind of wanted to do was to be able to just shoot and not have to do much editing, just shoot something that was a little bit less editing intensive and something that I could just kick back and do as a chore that might also prove to be a little entertaining to some people. So if that was you, then please drop a like, skis. Feel free to leave a like on this video. Feel free to comment on this video about anything that you might want to see, or if you liked it, questions, concerns, that kind of thing. Subscribe to the channel for similar and not similar things coming in the future, hopefully. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, so okay. Yeah, just wanted to be able to kind of wrap it up with minimal editing. So we'll see you guys for when we bring it to the next part. Catch you later.